Hi, sweeties, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Sweet Life of Mary Kay. I'm Sweet Mary Kay, and I want to ask you a question. What would happen if you didn't quit? And I want you to think about that answer as I'm telling you my story and my journey. So, for as long as I can remember, I have dealt with just feeling inadequate, feeling like I wasn't good enough, feeling like I wasn't capable, feeling like I wasn't encouraging, inspiring. And I really did not believe what people told me about myself as far as like how I made them feel motivationally, positively, as a woman of God, as a Christ follower, etc. Like I just didn't believe it. I knew and know that God has called me to be great, called me to be a leader among my peers. And I know what He put inside of me, but there are just times where I struggle believing it. And so with that, I would start things and then stop them. I would not be consistent in certain areas of my life, and I would not execute things that needed to be executed. And so, like, for example, I started my first blog. Well, it's always been The Sweet Life of Mary Kay, but I started that in 2014. That was almost 6 years ago now. And I would get discouraged in the beginning if I didn't have the response. I felt like nobody really cared. There were times I listened to kind of negative feedback and words about what I should and shouldn't do with my blog. And I didn't continue with that. Where would I be if I kept going 6 years in a row without starting and stopping? I would do something in 2014, sometimes in 2016, sometimes in 2018. Like, what would happen if I kept going? In 2015, I started my YouTube channel. I started out just doing vlogs a lot. And then sometimes I would have sit down videos where I would just talking, like, give inspirational videos. And I remember somebody telling me that I should shorten my vlogs because, like, nobody really is going to want to watch that long. But I remember myself watching people who I loved. I would sit there and watch their 60-minute vlogs if they had it because it was just like watching TV. And so I remember I would have my peers would criticize it and people who weren't even really watching me or following what I was doing. And I would allow their feedback to kind of discourage me when I should have just kept going. I should have just kept believing in myself. Where would I be on YouTube if I would have kept going 5 years in a row? I wrote a book. I started writing a book, I think, about 2014, 2015, but I published it in 2017. And it was about my journey, backstory. 13 years old, I lost my virginity to a guy I knew for 2 days, and we had sex for 5 minutes in a public coffee shop bathroom. Within that created already insecurities and soul ties and unhealthy emotions from that. And also that same year, my family moved me from my birth town of Fort Wayne, Indiana to Goldsboro, North Carolina. With that, I was angry at my parents for moving me. I was 13 years old. I just thought that they were ruining my life. That resulted in me being on probation. That resulted me in being a juvenile delinquent. It resulted in me having to go to a detention center. And so that's the backstory. So I wrote a book about that because at 16 years old, I rededicated my life back to Christ. I started pursuing abstinence and purity. And it was just something that I knew that the Lord had led me to write, and as well as in the community that I was in, it was inspiring. I was hosting events and I was just doing things for my generation. And I remember a mentor of mine at the time just basically telling me that I was writing the book too fast, and that maybe I needed some more, I guess, growth, and maybe I needed some more experience before I just write a book. But it's like, why couldn't I write that story from where I was? And so anyway, I ended up publishing the book. But just out of insecurities and just feeling like I wasn't good enough and just feeling like nobody really wanted to read my book because, everybody wasn't buying, I stopped selling it and I stopped promoting it. And I also fell into sin and I actually backslid. So that was another reason why I stopped promoting it. But where would I be if I would have kept promoting my book? Where would I be if I kept my blog going? Where would I be if I kept my YouTube channel going? And my old videos are still there, so you'll see that I was doing it. But where would I be if I was confident in myself and stayed in that place, and that I didn't allow the opinions of others to stop me? Like, where would I be if I didn't quit? And so for whatever your reason is that you feel like you want to quit, ask yourself, 6 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, where are you going to be if you stop, if you quit? And I just want you to think about that. And I want you to take my experience and learn from it, because I don't want you to be where I am. I think that everything happens for a reason, and I think that there were lessons that I needed to learn, but I also feel like if I wouldn't have quit, I would be further along and further ahead. And so I really just want you to be encouraged by that. I just really want you to take that, consider that, and think on that. If you like this video, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe and come back for more content, definitely do that. And then you can also turn on the notifications by clicking the bell. And also, if you feel like this page will be beneficial, or even this video will be beneficial to someone else, don't be selfish and share the video with them. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.